first stop on this grey, drizzly morning is to Bunnings, which is just a great place. Everyone loves Bunnings. Coffee maker, because I need coffee. I can't go a week without coffee. Realised I didn't have anything to make coffee with in my camping kit, and more importantly, some string, 20 metres of string to measure the big trees. I think the biggest tree is around 18 metres in circumference, so if it's bigger than that, then that will be awesome. I'll have to use the string twice, I guess. Anyway, gonna get loaded up and get going. Just have to stop at a good looking roadhouse. Not much going on here, but some nice signage. This is a nice little town called Stratford. They had promised me some antiques, but all the shops are shut by the looks of it. But yeah, nice little country town. There's a museum over here. Let's see if that is open or not. Every Tuesday and Sunday, so here's our man Michael Booth, Commonwealth Games champion. Mr. Michael Booth must be a local legend. But no museum. It's open anyway. Let's have a look down the back. Quite a nice tree there at the front. That's really cool. See you, Dennis. Good work. Quality sign. Little Aussie towns always have good, funny signs. Stratford also bills itself as being the place in the middle of everywhere. Not really sure about that. But definitely not in the middle of nowhere. Pleasant little place. 5 stars. where we're going in the Errinundra National Park, which I've just entered, is home to apparently one of the best stretches of old growth forests of native trees in the country. I discovered that the biggest tree in the world used to stand about an hour away from where I grew up as a kid in Melbourne, which is so cool. It was called the Ferguson tree, and it was a mountain ash, which is basically just a big gum tree. Who knew that they could grow so colossal? I'm just starting to see my first big trees here, actually. Wow. These are trees that haven't been affected by bushfire, haven't been affected by logging and unauthorised logging, and have survived the settlement of Australia. And what a privilege it's going to be to see them. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm just so excited that big gum trees are a thing. Amazing. Anyway, let's go and have a look. So here we are at the start of the old growth forest walk. Some people coming out told me that leeches are a feature. I've heard that a bit. They picked 10 off them, so that's something to look forward to. Love a good leeching. But there's some absolutely incredible trees already just as the path starts. Take a look at this guy. So peaceful, no one else around. And the path takes about, I think it takes about 2 hours. Shining gums estimated to be 600 years old over. Walking track, 3 hours return. Well, that's interesting. What time is it now? It's 5:30, which means it's going to be dark. We will give that a crack. We'll give it a crack. Love it. All right, let's get started. Don't think I've ever dealt with a leech. What do you do with a leech? Do you have to burn them off? They said they picked them off, but burning's a thing too, isn't it? Nasty. I think my biggest fear with leeches, probably for everyone, is them crawling up somewhere where you can't see them. Because I'm on my own, I can't see my own behind. So it's not good. They're freaking everywhere. It's out of control. I've picked off 4 already. 4 in 20 minutes. It's very pretty though, but the cost of entry is getting leached. Stay away from anything, hey? Think's the trick. Should have worn long pants probably. Look at this bad boy. He's massive. Absolutely massive. We're not even there yet. What you can see as you walk through is where there's been no logging. I think that one's either fallen or been hit by lightning. This one over here has got this beautiful big growth coming out of it. I'll try and get a bit closer. Cool, just seeing how trees in this environment have to survive, what they're surviving against. Because without people, it's lightning and fire and wind, and it's nice seeing trees with battle scars. I'd have a few battle scars if I lasted 500 years, I expect. It's pretty humid. Not that hot. It's been a cool day. Looked like it was going to rain, but very humid up here. Now I'm back into leech territory. It looks wet. I think the thing that just always surprises me about Australia is how diverse it is. You've never seen everything. There are 80, nearly 90 separate biodiversities in Australia, all with their own plants and animals. And when you drive any distance around the country, you know, I expected loads of nothing, and it's really not like that. Australia is just like a box set of amazing landscapes and plants and animals. It really is just an exceptional country to explore. These trees are just colossal. I can actually get close to this one. Big fella. Ah, Jesus! I didn't expect it to be so sharp. Why is it so sharp? Rookie mistake. This one's really rough. I wasn't exaggerating. That one's kind of like sandpaper. Very cool one. Very cool, but aggressive. It's an aggressive tree. When approached, don't approach. I think that was the message I got from it. Nuts. Just nuts. I can see you. I can see you. Invincible. You're still not off. finally got him off. Damn. Losing, getting eaten. It's not fun. Don't want to look at big trees anymore. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to focus on the trees, not the leeches, which is a bit difficult because leeches require urgent attention before they disappear up your inside thigh. But look at this guy. Isn't he beautiful? So beautiful. Love him. Leech check. Leeches 0. So this is the forest giant. It is colossal. 600 years old, believed to be one of the biggest trees in Victoria. Just a beautiful thing. I mean, centuries old. Imagine that. Imagine what it's seen, what it's survived. A beautiful thing. So cool. Just a monster. So these shining gums are called shining because their leaves are shiny, and they are native to this area. Actually, they only grow around here. And this little walk that I'm doing showcases the best of them. Damn, that thing is beautiful. So now apparently trees over, oh that's the other thing, 19 metres in circumference around the base, and now any tree in Victoria, the circumference greater than 4 metres is automatically protected regardless of whether it's in a national park or not, which is a great law. I'd love to see some hard charges for people that saw down old trees for their properties or whatever. Too many trees are lost. This is a beautiful bit of moss. Look at that. Lovely. Now to head back before it gets dark and to find somewhere where to pitch my swag. I feel like Lara Croft running the gauntlet, the leech gauntlet. How many leeches have made it up my trunks? That's the question. How many leeches are in my trunks? Okay, made it back to the car, and now the challenge is going to be finding a camp before it gets dark and seeing if I've got any leeches in my breeches, which could be a bit nasty. But yeah, that was a great walk. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Some epic trees just all around here, even in the car park. So good. So I found a nice little free camp in the middle of the park. No one else here. This is great. So the bad news this morning for me is that the percolator I couldn't get to work, which means I had to have a cup of tea. I don't know how that, I mean, I think that's right. I mean, how else can it go? How else could this thing go? Coffee, water, on the bottom, boil. I mean, I boiled it for a century. I was pretty desperate for a coffee, as I always am. But yeah, no coffee. So today we're going to explore a little bit more of Errinundra National Park, and an area in particular that really inspired me to come here was noted by one of the crowdsourced tree registers, Australian source. I'll link to it. Unfortunately, the guy recently died, so it's now become inactive. But he noted that it was the most impressive collection of trees he's ever seen, of native gums. So that really inspired me to come here. So I'm excited for that, and might check out a couple of the other walks and see if I can get over the fact that I haven't had coffee, which is no, I can't get over not having coffee. But there's no coffee around here. There's no cafes. There's nothing. Anyway, let's go have a look. I just parked up here in this nice little spot. I thought it would be a pretty cool place to just have a break. And it's actually a campground. It's called Queensborough River Camp. And I mean, I've been to so many great spots in Australia, but this one is just spectacular. Here it is. This is like being in a dream. Seriously, it's just beautiful. Check out the river. Now the old tree up here. It's a beauty. But yeah, what a great spot. And I got some Wi-Fi for a second, or some mobile coverage, and looked up how to use a camp percolator. Maybe something to do with the water level that I had on it. I've been trying to conserve my water, but I filled up at a little rainwater tank in the town I just went through. So hopefully I'm getting coffee. Give me coffee. So the rain has kind of set in for the afternoon, so I've decided to just walk in the last 9k's or so, get my steps in. And interestingly, I met a guy while I was sat at that pretty spot having my lunch. I met a guy who used to work in the logging industry. He now works for the park services, and he was writing notes on trees, so I thought it was pretty interesting that we crossed paths. Anyway, he told me that the logging industry, the old growth logging industry in Victoria, has been completely stopped, like overnight. A whole industry has been shut down, and so now, yeah, he instead of harvesting trees, he's maintaining and nurturing them. He didn't seem lovely bloke. He seemed frustrated, actually. So we had a long chat about the media narrative around issues which simplifies things into black and white. Certainly as a an average person who consumes media about stuff, my understanding of how the timber industry works is it's either regrowth or it's, we'll take over a new section of land and clear fell it, and wait for another 200 years for the forest to regrow. But he was talking a good case for managed logging, which picks out trees and preserves a generation of trees that doesn't just go after whole swathes of forestry, which it was a good chat. I was really glad that I met him because I was educated myself on what was going on. It's had implications on timber, where countries are now getting their timber from. So it puts more pressure on countries like Brazil. It's like most of these things, it's a big issue. It's not a simple one either. I'm not sure if it's this one, but this is an absolute monster. So here she is. Magnificent shining gum that inspired this trip. It's obviously hard to convey the scale of it, but she's just colossal. A beautiful piece of living history. I'm gonna run down the gully and give her a hug and tell her how well she's done. Maybe that'll give you a bit of an idea of the scale. Well done. You are magnificent. You win. You've outlived everything, and I appreciate you. Grateful to be here standing with you for a second, being part of your history. What an incredible thing. Goodbye, my dear. I'm going back to camp before the search parties get sent out. What an absolutely magnificent tree. So good.